Hi, welcome to Andrea Gamera Coaching and NoPainNoGain.ca. So today I want to talk about knowing your purpose. So knowing your purpose in life is something that a lot of people struggle with. The meaning of life has been the topic of countless books, movies, and magazine articles as people struggle to figure out why they're in the world. So how do you figure out what your purpose is before you hit 80? With some focused journaling and time with God, it's really not that hard to figure it out. So here's how you can figure out what your purpose is and live the life of your dreams. So here are some steps to know your purpose. Number 1 is journaling. 2, know your worth. 3, know your passions. 4, spend time with God. 5, volunteering and internships. So let's start with journaling. Journaling it's not like having a diary. Journaling is writing all your thoughts, all your dreams down on paper so that you can get everything there and you can look at it and find out what's true and what's not. So one of the best ways when you try to figure out what your purpose is to just do a brain dump, which is just writing down everything that comes to mind. You set a timer for 5 to 15 minutes, or you could be at this for days. So you set your timer, have your paper in front of you, or you can put it right into your notes section or a document on your computer, or you can dictate it if you want to. But just write everything down that comes to mind. You can include things that you enjoy, things that you don't like. It's better to put things that you do like. Try to keep it positive. But even putting down what you don't like, that'll help you figure out your purpose too. So when you're doing this brain dump, think of anything that inspires you, that really gets your heart racing, that makes you feel happy and fulfilled. So that could be anything from helping animals to freedom of speech and conscience and religion. It could be helping underprivileged kids or environmental issues, music, theater, sport, anything that makes you happy and keeps you focused, it all counts. And then once you have all these things on paper, you can start to look at them. You can rate them, rank them, the things that make you most excited to the things that are like, not so much. You'll very quickly be able to bring that list down to, maybe 10 items, or even down to your top 3 things that really set your heart on fire, and things that you want to change, things that you want to help with. That is a really great way to figure out your purpose. And as you write this list, you're going to start to know what's a theme. So maybe a whole bunch of things are related around animals, different kinds of animals, but animals in general. So then you can start looking at maybe becoming an animal advocate. Maybe it's exotic animals, maybe it's farm animals or pets. There really is no limit to what you might find interesting. But when you start to find that there's a number of things in the same area, that can be a very good indicator that this is where your purpose lies. The next thing you need to do, once you have your list down and you realize what you're really attracted to, now you need to go and start thinking about how you can pursue that. And then the next real big step is to know your worth. A lot of people don't really realize their own worth. And it's more than how much you have in your bank account. That's really it's not your grades. It's not what's in your bank account. It's not how many people you know or the neighborhood you live in. It's your worth to God. And you may not realize this, but He loved you so much that He knew this world would not be complete without you. So generations before you were born, He started putting things into motion so that your parents would meet and you would become a reality. Yeah, seriously, He loves you that much. And to know that you have a loving Heavenly Father that wanted you on this earth that badly, it's all, For me, it really fires me up knowing that. It comforts me, it gives me hope, and it helps ground me that it doesn't matter what people around me think, as long as God is happy with what I'm doing and I'm happy with what I'm doing, then that's all that really matters. And it really is that simple. So when you know your worth, that you are valuable, that God put you on the planet for a purpose, and that this world really can't function without you, it just opens up so many more possibilities for where you can go in life. So once you settle into your worth and know what really fires you up, now you're ready to go to the next step, which is to know your passions. So now let's look at going into knowing your passions and, well, pursuing them. Because now you've got a list, you've got a better idea of what fires you up and what your passions are. So as long as your passions are legal and will make the world a better place, now it's a matter of going after them and pursuing them. So let's say you want to help animals. Well, there's so many ways you can do it. You can work in a zoo, you can work on a farm, you can become a veterinarian so that you can help heal animals. You can become an animal rights activist or, vocalist for them so that they can, you can change policies in your area if you don't like how animals are being treated. So then there's just so many options for you once you know what do you want to do. When you find that you really want to keep people safe, great, then you could become you could consider joining the police force, become a firefighter, become a doctor, a nurse, a teacher. The list is endless. Once you figure out what really fires you, then you can start thinking of the avenue that will get you to where you want to go, to be able to use your talents and passion to help your cause in the best way. Another really important step is to spend time with God. Of course, I realize that not everybody watching this is going to be a Christian or even believe in God, but you know what? He believes in you, even if you don't. And He wants the best for you. Everything He put on this planet was for our benefit, and He really does want the best for you. So having a relationship with God, I can't really emphasize how important this is. Because when you have God on your side, you can truly do anything, as long as it's in His will for your life. So spending time with God, asking God what He wants for your life, or if you find something you're very passionate about, or somewhere you want to live or go or travel and see, you can ask God, is this in your plan for my life? Is this going to be the best thing for me? And He will answer you. You will be amazed at the shows, the songs, the people, conversations that will start coming up around you that will affirm or tell you it's not the best idea to do that in the moment. And for some people, He communicates to them through dreams or through pastors, teachers that will come up to you and say, hey, or even from your friends, they'll come up and say, hey, you know what? I have this feeling that I need to say this to you. And they'll tell you something that you really need to hear in that moment. So, God can use anything. As Jesus said, God can use the rocks and stones to cry out if He needs to. So he can speak to you. He can let you know what it is for your life if you really want to do life side by side, which I truly recommend, because it's made a huge difference since I've let God take the wheel, and instead of being just a bystander that I check in with every once in a while. It really does help when He's able to guide you through your life. Another great thing to do to figure out your purpose in the world is through volunteering and internships. Because you may be really fired up about something, but then once you actually get into the action of doing it, it's not really what you thought it was going to be. And so if you can volunteer or do an internship, then you can find out. Internships are great because that way you find out if you're a good fit with a company, and that's really important, because when you're going into something really major, joining a law firm, that kind of thing, being part of a news group or a fashion design company, Sometimes if you're not going to fit with your superiors and with the culture and the environment that you're going to be working in, you're going to want to know sooner than later, because you don't want to get yourself trapped into something that's going to be a 30-year career choice if you don't really like it. I mean, I worked right out of university. I actually worked for a law firm. I was in their data entry department, filing department actually, and it gave me an opportunity to see what the legal world really was like. And in the lunchrooms, everybody would gather with that, and so I would get to listen to the paralegals, the lawyers, the associate lawyers, their secretaries, everybody in between, and kind of get to know them and hear their stories. And one of the gals there, she had done gone through her university, got her degree, went to law school, got her did everything she had to do, and she was about to be offered an associate position in the firm, and she turned it down, because she realized at that point that after all that work, all that money, it really wasn't what she thought it was going to be, and she didn't want to do it for the rest of her life. And I mean, that's great. That is great, because as soon as you can figure that out and move into a stream that you're happier with, the better. But if she had volunteered or internshiped first in this kind of environment, it might have saved her a lot of this time and heartache down the road, realizing it really wasn't the path she wanted to be on. So I mean, and volunteering, you meet so many great people that way as well, but it just gives you such a great way to figure out what it all entails. And then, when I was a kid, I loved animals. I still love animals, but I wanted to work in a pet store. But then when I realized I was going to have to give all the animals away, I realized, I'm not going to like that, because I'm going to get too attached. And then I thought, I'm going to be a vet. And then when I realized I was going to have to actually cut into the animals to help them with broken legs and other things, I'm like, I don't think I could do that either. And then I'm like, oh, great, I could work at a zoo. And I was like, well, most of the time in the zoo, you don't get to hang out and pet the animals. You are actually just cleaning up after them. And I'm like, that's not really for me either. So, you really got to look at what path you want to go on, and see if that's really what you want to be doing with the rest of your life. So I also happen to be a virtual assistant for Trish Blackwell and the College of Confidence. And for that position, I actually did a 6-month internship with her first to see if I was a good fit. And it turned out we were a great fit for each other. And I am still with her 3-4 years later. And I don't plan on stopping that, because working with her is just a dream job. But in working with her, I have discovered that I am actually a natural-born encourager, and I love helping other people discover their confidence, work through conflicts and things that are holding them back, and create a better future for themselves. And so if I had never done that internship with Trish, I would never have realized this about myself. And so I really can't stress enough how volunteering and internship can really help you find your purpose in life, like I did. So in conclusion, you can have joy and love for life when you realize what your purpose in life is. And it really doesn't take that much work. It takes a bit of time figuring out what your passions are, connecting with God, finding out what His will for your life is, and just going for it. Find things that make you smile and happy, the things that make you want to get out of bed in the morning and just embrace what the world has for you that day. So I really encourage you, take the time, sit down, figure out what makes you tick, the passions that are inside you, the things that make you just want to get out there and change this world, because you can change the world for the better when you focus your energies, discover what your purpose is, and then just go for it. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you've enjoyed this, and we'll see you next time. Did you know that one-on-one coaching is a great way to discover what you want to do in this world? Well, that's what I do. I help people break down the barriers that are holding them back so that they can have their best lives. So if this is something that sounds like it would be good for you, please reach out to me at andrea@nopainallgain.ca, and we can set up a time for a free one-on-one consultation to see if working with each other would be a good fit. I look forward to hearing from you soon, and have a wonderful week. Bye for now.